What's going on, guys? This morning the spoilers for Black Clover chapter 267 came out, and it dropped one of the biggest bombshells the series has had for a long time now. Now, on Sunday I'll be doing a live reaction to the official chapter release for both Black Clover and My Hero Academia, so follow me on Twitch if you want to see that. But today I'll be focusing on one element of this chapter and kind of theorizing what it means. Specifically, I'm talking about Asta's mother, who makes an official appearance in the final page when the anti-magic devil remembers something about her. Throughout the chapter, Asta and the devil had been doing battle in accordance with this devil binding ritual thing that had been set up in the last chapter. And Asta tells the devil during this new chapter that he isn't evil just because he's a devil. And this causes the devil to have a flashback, and we briefly see a shadow of Astas Mom standing next to the present day Asta. Following that, we get a full page of his mother, which you can see on screen, and the reason the devil remembers her in this moment is because what Asta said to him was very similar to what Asta's mother had also said to him. To be more precise, according to the rough translations, she says to him that he's not a bad guy. Tabata has given us 1,000,001 clues as to why this is Asta's mother right here. Firstly, her shirt is the exact same as it was in chapter 242 when Asta was fighting Dante and we got this flashback to a bloodied person. This person had their hand outstretched in some kind of dark flashback and said the words, "My dear son," and obviously this is presumed to be Asta's flashback. Yeah, it was heavily implied then that this was Asta's mother, and now we see this character here with the same clothes. It's interesting to note that this flashback back in chapter 242, it was only triggered the moment Ghosh was impaled by Dante, and given the blood around her stomach, is it possible that a similar thing happened to her as well? And the reason it was triggered is because, it's kind of like deja vu for Asta? I think it's possible. The next point that confirmed it for me that this is Asta's mother was really, really subtle. So this random strand of hair at the top of her head, I mean, we've seen this from Asta on many an occasion, and when Tabata was designing this character, he didn't need to give her this. It was definitely something he added to confirm it beyond a reasonable doubt that, this is who we think it is. Her wide eyes are also pretty much identical to Asta's, and in every way, Asta is the spitting image of this woman. Now, thinking about her clothing, she doesn't have any royal clothing. It seems to be pretty standard outfit, something you would expect a commoner to wear. And the background is really nice and scenic, which implies that this is not the Spade Kingdom, because as we know, the Spade Kingdom is famous for its harsh and cold environment. So to have such, luscious trees, it's probably not the Spade Kingdom. When you compare these robes to the typical Heart Kingdom citizens, it doesn't really match. And I think the same goes for the Spade Kingdom. Their outfits don't really look like this either. So that just leaves the Diamond Kingdom and the Clover Kingdom. If she was killed by Dante, as I suspect, then it's possible that happened whilst he was still a soldier in the Spade Kingdom army, and therefore he was maybe visiting other countries during war. If that did happen, it would likely be sometime shortly after she had given birth to Asta, because both Asta and Yuno were dropped off at the village on the same day. But from Yuno's backstory, we know that he was alive well before he was dropped off at the church. So the same is true for Asta as well. He could have been a baby for a few weeks for all we know. But regardless, the info in this chapter raises so many questions about the anti-magic devil itself. Mainly the fact that this confirms, to me at least, that the devil was alive in human form not that long ago. I mean, if Astas mom was having a conversation with it, it stands to reason that he was not a devil at this time, just casually in the forest having a chat with Asta's mom. Like, he was probably a human being when she was having this conversation. Back in chapter 246, we got this panel of Asta's devil just having insane thoughts, thinking about how much he wants to kill Dante, which was a level of hatred we'd never seen in this show before, not even towards Zagreb or anyone else. Why was the devil so angry specifically at Dante? I mean, I don't think this was just because of what happened to Ghosh. I think it's deeper than that. Also, when we saw the anti-magic devil's face in the last chapter, I can't be the only one who thought this was Asta for a second. But it's not Asta, this is just the devil's face. So the similarity in looks between the devil, Asta, and Asta's mom coupled with the fact that we now know that the devil knew Astas Mom, my guess is right now that the devil and Asta are related, and this devil, this is my theory right now, but this devil is possibly his uncle. If the rough translations are accurate, then Astas Mom tells the devil he's not a bad guy, which is the type of language to me that you'd expect from a sister to brother relation rather than a mother to son. It's kind of like casual, you know. Yeah, that's what I think for now. Let me know what you guys think about that though. If the devil is Asta's uncle, then of course he'd be filled with hatred and rage towards Dante if it was him that killed his sister. And you know, maybe that death led to negative mana surrounding the devil, and then maybe that's what turned him into a devil. Because at this point in the series, we still don't know exactly what creates devils. Now, there was a panel in this chapter that maybe explained what creates devils, but because it wasn't translated, I didn't really understand what it was saying. So maybe when the official translation comes out, we'll get an explanation. But for now, we don't know what creates devils, and so my assumption is that this was created because of negative mana after his sister was killed by Dante. But of course, that is just a theory, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So be sure to subscribe, as I have another Black Clover video planned for next week, as well as My Hero and One Punch Man as well. We're doing it all, we're doing everything. So yeah, be sure to subscribe, and until the next one, peace out.